Welcome to Jumpstart Justice. I'm Noelle D'Amico, Director of Social Justice at the Workers' Circle, and I'm joined today by Sammy Moschenberg, Public Policy Consultant for the Workers' Circle. In a few moments, Sammy will discuss why it's imperative to advocate that the Senate not move to fill the Supreme Court seat that became vacant following the passage of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg last weekend. Please have your phone ready so that we may take action together. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's rulings and dissents demanded that the promise of the rights enshrined in the U.S. Constitution be known in practice to all people in our nation. Would you pause now with me for a moment of silence as we honor, mourn, and give thanks for her life? Thank you. The strength of our democracy rests upon the people's willingness to vote, to engage our elected leaders, and to hold them accountable. So we are glad that you've joined us today for Jumpstart Justice. And we remind you that following the program, you'll receive an email with resources to delve deeper. If you're viewing a recording of our live program, just fill out the Count Me In form, and you'll also receive this information. And now I'll turn it over to Sammy Moschenberg, who will explore with us why it is imperative that the Senate commit to no confirmation before inauguration. Welcome, Sammy.
Thank you, Noelle. Tomorrow, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will lie in state in the U.S. Capitol, the first woman given that honor. Many in this nation are in deep mourning, heartbroken that after years of pain and courageous struggle, RBG, as she was affectionately called, has left us. The fact that her death came just before the Jewish New Year only compounded the sadness for those of us celebrating the beginning of the High Holy Days. It is said that only the most righteous, those the world needs the most, are kept until the very end of the year. Hundreds spontaneously flocked to the Supreme Court when they heard of her death, and vigils are still taking place across the country. It is not surprising because throughout her career, Ruth Bader Ginsburg led important legal fights for equality and justice. She is famous for her defense of women's rights. Not just that, but her opinions and dissents, her dissents on issues such as voting rights and LGBTQ rights were critical to those fights. As Ann Toback, Workers' Circle CEO, said in a letter in the Daily News, she will be remembered for her brilliant decisions, legal rulings, and compassionate heart. Her dying wish was that the next president would fill her seat. It is up to us to ensure that that wish is carried out. After all, she understood, and we know that the 2020 election is weeks away, and as voting has begun in many states and others, I voted this morning in Virginia. The Senate must wait until the will of the people is known, until all votes are counted and the election results are certified, and the next president and Senate are sworn in. To do less would be an insult to the American people and a travesty of justice and fairness that our country would feel for generations to come. with the COVID pandemic and the resulting economic crisis, for the Senate to be rushing through a nominee with little time for deliberation is unconscionable. Remember, a Supreme Court justice serves for a lifetime and may be on the bench for 30 to 40 years, making decisions on every aspect of our lives. Perhaps the most lasting legacy of a president are the judges that sit on the Supreme Court and the other federal courts. And let me remind you that this president has filled 1/3 of the Supreme Court seats, will have filled 1/3 of Supreme Court seats if we let him get away with this one. On Saturday, the president will be announcing his pick to sit in Justice Ginsburg's seat. While we would like to think that person will be an experienced individual who has a record of fairness and independence and a commitment to upholding constitutional rights, Trump has made it clear that his litmus test is whether a nominee can be counted on to overturn the Affordable Care Act and Roe v. Wade. In other words, someone who would undo Justice Ginsburg's legacy. Indeed, both of those issues are on the court's front burner. Soon after Election Day, the Supreme Court will take up a case brought by a group of state attorneys general challenging the entire ACA. Imagine what it would mean for more than 20 million people to lose health care in a pandemic. And imagine what it would mean for the millions of people who have had COVID or been exposed to COVID to suddenly find out that their pre-existing condition, COVID, makes them uninsurable. About 17 cases involving state abortion bans are teed up and ready to be appealed to the Supreme Court. So a chance to overturn Roe is on the horizon. And it has not escaped attention that with the legitimacy of the election already being questioned, the justice appointed by President Trump may end up deciding who wins this election. Every senator needs to hear from their constituents that there should be no confirmation before the inauguration. That's every senator. No senator should be taken for granted, whether you think that senator is going to be fine or you think that senator is hopeless. In a minute, we will be carrying that message, a message we must continue to relay through calls, petitions, and emails. May Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg be a blessing, and inspire us to take action to save her legacy. Noelle will tell you what our next steps are. Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. Just one question though. Given that 51 Republicans have now said they're going to go with a vote on the president's nominee prior to the November election, do we have any real chance of stopping this?
There's always a chance. I want to remind everybody that when the Affordable Care Act came to the Senate, it was doomed. And people thought that there was no chance it was going to pass. But by one vote, a vote that was obtained through a lot of constituent pressure by John McCain, that thumbs up vote, we saw the Affordable Care Act become law. So there's always a chance, but it's up to us.
Thanks, Sammy. And now it's time for us to take action. You see before you the Capitol switchboard number. And what we're going to do in just a moment is call that number. And when we reach a person, say that we would like to speak with one of the senators from our state. Some of you may reach voicemail at the Capitol switchboard, but don't worry. You can say, I want to speak to my senator from and your state, and they'll give you the option of one of your two senators to speak with. So when you are connected to your senator's office, you'll introduce yourself. Hi, my name is, and I live in, so that they know where you're calling from and who you are. And then we have a script prepared that you can use to express your views. We are urging again that the Senate do all in its power to ensure that there is no confirmation before the inauguration. After you're done speaking with one senator, Then you, if you have time, can call back and speak to your other senator. We're going to leave the script live on the screen, and that hopefully will allow you to make both calls. When you've made a call, let us know about it by reporting back in the chat. For example, I, Noelle, will be calling Senator Chuck Schumer from New York, and I'll let you all know once I've completed that call in the chat. We'd like to be encouraged by all the calls that we know are going to go forward today. So let us know about that. And then after we have reported, I will close our program out with a few words, but we will keep this script live so that those of you who may be still dialing will be able to continue to use it. And with that, let's start our calls. I see that we have some calls coming in. Thank you, Anne, who left a message for Senator Schumer. Thank you for leaving a message for Senator Mitt Romney. Thank you to Sheila, who has left a message for Senator Jack Reed. Sammy, I see you left a message with Senator Kaine, and you're thanking him for standing up to McConnell and urging him to do all in his power to keep this from happening. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you for calling Senators Blumenthal and Murphy in Connecticut. And to Janice, we're appreciative of your message to Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. I also dialed Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. I'm going to do Senator Schumer when I'm off the phone. Wonderful, Phyllis. Thank you for leaving a message for Senator Marco Rubio in Florida, and Judy for reaching out to Rick Scott's office. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. We are so grateful, and we know that you'll continue to make calls that will make a difference. Thank you, Louise, for reaching out to Senator Cory Booker And another call that's gone out to Senator Schumer from Jonathan. Friends, we thank you for your advocacy. And following this session, you'll receive an email with additional resources from this session, as well as a link to the slides with the call-in script. So if you didn't get to call that other senator, you can still make that call. We know that many of you are still reaching out to your senators right now, and it may still be on the phone, so we're going to leave this script live for a few minutes. Following the close of our program, that way you'll have it as a reference as you continue your calls. Next week on Jumpstart Justice, we'll welcome Gerardo Reyes Chavez of the Coalition of Immokalee Workers to discuss and take action to ensure farm workers have the testing, health services, and economic support that they need as they feed our nation during the pandemic. I so hope you'll join us for this important Jumpstart Justice event next Thursday from 2 to 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and do spread the word. See you then.